Hey everybody, welcome back to the Hellacious Hero Returns. I am Hellacious Hero Joe, and this is going to be another episode of Collector's Crusade. I've been really getting into these Collector's Crusades again lately, and the last one I just recently did was the Death Metal Batman. And today is going to be a super cool episode because even though this franchise does have comic books based around it, and if you saw the opening title in the sequence, it's going to be about the Alien Queen from Aliens, James Cameron's Aliens film in the Aliens universe. And this specific figure is by Quantum Mechanics. They have this Q-Fig Max line, which this is based off of, and you can see it's the Alien Queen. The box is really cool. It says on the top, boxes are meant to be opened. So that's pretty cool. And you can see the picture of the Queen on the front. And if you open it, you can't really see, but it's a really neat box. A really cool box with the art, the Aliens movie art, the actual Queen figure here in the middle. Free hugs with the face hugger on it. Really neat, and it's held together by like three little kind of Velcro things that are attachable to the box itself. The box is really well done. The back of the box, Aliens. But other than that, and on the bottom, like I said, it says Alien Queen. It says property of Weyland-Yutani Corporation, LV-426, the Archeron colony. LV-426 is the moon in the first Alien movie that Ripley and the crew land on, which is where the eggs are for the aliens. And Kane stumbles upon the alien nest and gets the face hugger from the first movie. And then from Aliens, those of you who haven't seen it, the sequel to Alien, it came out in 1986. The first Alien came out in 1979. Ridley Scott directed that one of the greatest science fiction movies of all time, as well as this one. They're both incredible. James Cameron with this one, LV-426 becomes a colony inhabited by people. And if you watch the first movie, that's not really a good thing because the corporation, or the company in the first movie, Weyland-Yutani, it's never named really in the first movie. Not until this movie is it named Aliens, the second one. They kind of turn it into a money-making colony for their corporation. And Ash, the android, in the first movie, was the company's kind of science officer trying to take these alien species back to the company to do research and create weapons, sort of. And if you saw the Alien prequels, Ridley Scott directed Prometheus and Alien Covenant, you can see how these different variations of the alien creature were created. So many different variations. The neomorph, the proto or praetomorph in Alien Covenant, the deacon that comes out of the engineer's body in Prometheus. So many different variations. Ovomorphs, which are like how they create the eggs. In this movie, you kind of see that they cocoon their victims. The aliens do. And then, in order to grow to eggs, the actual nest itself, the queen, that's created, where the eggs are created, if she lays them or however it happens, the eggs actually feed off of the life sources of these cocoon victims. So it kind of gives life to the eggs, where then the facehuggers emerge out of too. Kind of parasitically implant the embryo inside of the human body, and then it bursts out, the chest explosion in all movies. But I've been a huge Alien fan forever. Like I said, Ridley Scott's my favorite director of all time. James Cameron has done amazing work. The original illustrations by H.R. Geiger, with the creation of the alien, and then some modifications from different art directors and Ridley Scott and all those guys helping to bring this character to the big screen. And just the different incarnations over the years is amazing. There's supposed to be an Alien TV series coming exclusively to Hulu, and a new Alien movie from a director of Don't Breathe 2, those movies. So I'm interested to see that. I'm excited for that. It's supposed to be coming out here next year, 2023. We'll see how it's going to be. It's supposed to be a standalone film. I know that Alien Awakening by Neil Blomkamp was scrapped. Sigourney Weaver was supposed to come back for that. Ridley Scott had one too that was also titled Alien Awakening that was scrapped because Alien Covenant didn't make enough money in the box office for whatever reason. I thought it was pretty good. I don't think anything is going to come close to Alien or Aliens. I mean, they're just sci-fi horror classics, and there's so much philosophy and depth and just ambiguity about all this stuff. It's phenomenal. I mean, they're amazing movies. I just want to see more quality stuff out of this franchise. Because let's face it, even like the Alien vs. Predator movies, the original and Requiem were kind of crappy. They were bad. There were parts of them that were great. You know, the creature designs always look good. But the stories were not very solid, not very consistent. So I'm very excited to see what they do with this franchise moving forward. I hope it comes close to Alien and Aliens. And Prometheus and Alien Covenant. I think they're all in that same kind of horror vein. Even though Aliens is more of an action-packed movie, as opposed to like the thriller component of the original movie and some of the scenes in Prometheus and Alien Covenant. James Cameron did an amazing job with this film, Aliens, and it's up there with me. It's so close to the original. It's like there are days where I like the original better, and then sometimes I like Aliens better. But I do really love this. For me, as an Alien franchise fan, Aliens is like just a little bit higher for me. Just because it does have that action component. It does have the mech battle at the end where Ripley fights the Queen. And that is something that's awesome and I love. So let's crack this open. Enough rambling. It's been, 10 minutes of me rambling now, but let's actually crack this open. This box, I already went through the parameters of it. And yeah. Let's see. I have a knife here, as I usually do. This isn't really like a combat knife or anything like that. It's just an artsy knife. It's called the Shadow Warrior. It's like a blue steel kind of decorative knife. But it gets the job done. It's just neat. You know, it has a little ninja head on the back, little samurai head for the belt clip. A really artsy blade. And it's blue. Shiny blue. And the handle has like a skeletal samurai ninja on it. It's neat. That's what we're going to use to cut this open. Now this box has, it looks like 2 pieces of tape on the top. So let's start there. And I'll say this, out of all the collectibles that I've shown, and I've shown Diamond Select, that was one of the first lines I did, mainly comic book characters with that. I showed the Banpresto Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball GT characters. And I recently showed the McFarlane toys with Death Metal. I want to say that out of all the boxes themselves, I think this is the most like decorative and like artsy stylized box with that like the Velcro and stuff. I mean, this would be a box to keep. I mean, you might even be able to collect this box and get something out of it. I don't know, but now when you open the box, there's 2 tabs folded. So you kind of just open those up. And on the inside, there's black plastic. So we'll pull that up. Put the box aside. Black plastic, and there are 2 pieces of Scotch tape on either side. So I'm just going to take the knife to one side, because like I said before with my Diamond Select videos, cut the box open and you can kind of put this plastic back inside. And yeah, I mean, as soon as you open this up, the figure's on the inside and it sits there. And I don't want to reveal it yet, but I'm going to take it out here. And you can kind of just pop it out. It's not very hard to pop out. Close that back up. Now let's take a gander at this thing. Yeah, that's pretty awesome, I will say. That is the Alien Queen from Aliens. And the base that she's standing on is part of the ship, or the space station, or the colonial station from Aliens, the movie. If you notice this kind of like hollowed out cutout in the front here, this like half moon here, you can actually buy the Quantum Mechanics Ripley Aliens figure where she's in the mech suit, the loader, the yellow loader, and you can actually connect it to the front of this, and it's the battle from the actual movie. It redepicts that cinematic scene, which is cool. I'm going to say I'm not going to buy that, personally. Not because I don't think Ripley's an amazing character or anything like that. It's just, I will say this about the Ripley figure that I noticed. Now, I don't have it with me. I'll post like a little pickup here in a second. But that Ripley figure is almost kind of like Funko Pop looking in design. It's kind of like a cartoonish version of the character. Where I think this figure itself, really, this Alien Queen, it does kind of have that cartoonish component as well, don't get me wrong. But it's much more menacing and realistic to the actual movie. And I think I just want to keep it separately that way, because it looks awesome. I mean, the exoskeleton, everything, it's so cool. The tail wraps all the way around. The character, you know, and the barbed tail is ready. Has a knife-like blade on it to stab, just like in the movies. She has the extra set of hands down here. 4 hands, the barbs in the back. The elongated head. The saliva dripping out. And as we know, they all have acidic blood, so if you try to cut this thing open, it's going to bleed on you, and half your face is going to be gone, like in most of the movies, or your arm, or whatever. But I think it's an amazing figure. Durability-wise, very, very solid. I don't want to say it's flimsy. It has a very nice kind of like, you can kind of see it, green light sort of embedded in it here. Green light, you know, painted or whatever, just for the piece of the base. And it goes all the way around. I think that's awesome. An awesome little, I mean, very, very small but subtle touch that adds to the piece itself. I think it's such a cool, kick-ass figure. I love it. It's not super big. It's just an awesome piece. It's just an awesome piece to look at. I mean, it's just so cool. This is my first Quantum Mechanics figure, and I'm glad I got this one because Alien Day, April 26th, after LV 426. The moon, right? And then the colony and aliens. Marcheron. And, yeah, and if you look at the bottom, it says here, number 90, Aliens, Alien Queen, Q-Fig Max Elite, 20th Century Fox. This is an adult collectible. There's some information on there in the bottom. Not intended for use by children. Yeah. And the copyright on this is 2020. So this must have been a 2020 collectible figure. And all that info is on the bottom of the base. So, yeah, I think this is definitely worth it. I got this at Walmart, and I paid, I think, $45 for it, which, if you saw some of my earlier Diamond Select videos, I was paying like, $40, $35, $40 for like those figures up there, like that Batman, the Scarecrow up here, this Batman, this Scarecrow. But those Diamond Select PVCs have went up exponentially. I mean, they're outrageous now. I mean, the prices for them. I mentioned it in my McFarlane, my Dark Knight's Death Metal Collector's Crusade video with Batman on the motorcycle up there. That one. How much they've skyrocketed in price. You can find some that are still around that price point of $35, $40, but a lot of them, I noticed on Amazon anyway, if you're ordering from there, they're like $100, $150 a piece. Some of them, it's outrageous. So I can't justify spending that kind of money for something I paid $30 or $40 for, the year before or 6 months prior. So I've kind of shifted towards other collectibles. In particular, McFarlane Toys, as I said, they make cool action figures. Now, that's not as sturdy as the Diamond Select, but it was only, the McFarlane figures is half the price. I spent $35 or $40 for the motorcycle and Batman, and that seemed fair to me. Whereas the Diamond Selects now are full PVC and their diorama and their gallery, but it's just outrageous. And this piece, this Quantum Mechanics, my first piece, I'm very pleased with it. Quality-wise and design-wise, it's magnificent. It's phenomenal. But I will also say, in terms of heaviness, like the weight and the durability of it, I don't think it's quite as good as Diamond Select. I still think that PVC diorama, the strength of the material, the weight of the material, it seems like it has this sturdiness to it. Not that this doesn't have like that same kind of sturdiness, but it's significantly lighter. I mean, just holding it even with this base, you would think it'd be heavy. And it looks like it is. I mean, if you look at this figure, it looks like it'd be heavy, but it's not. It's like really, really light. And it kind of reminds me of if I had to sit here and say this, kind of like a cross between, like a middle point between the Diamond Select figures up there and like a pop figurine. Like a pop figurine, like that kind of vinyl pop figurine feel. That's kind of what it reminds me of. Like, not quite as lightweight as the pop, but not quite as durable with the weight and the heaviness of that PVC Diamond Select gallery diorama feel. And it's kind of like size-wise in between that too. It's in between the size of like a pop figurine and the Diamond Select. It's not quite, like a 9 or 10 inch, figure or statue. It's more like a, 5.5, 6 inch tall statue. And the width on this is about that too, 5.5, 7, maybe a little over 7 inches wide. So, all in all, I'm pleased with it. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not. It's awesome. I mean, I'm just looking at it. So cool. Such a cool figure. And I'm a big sci-fi nerd too. I say this all the time. Blade Runner is one of my favorite science fiction movies of all time. Ridley Scott directed that as well. A few years after Alien, 3 years after. That came out in 1982. But Alien, the movie itself, has always been one of my favorites ever since I was a kid. Aliens as well. James Cameron. Again, James Cameron directed one of my other favorite franchises, Terminator. Terminator 1, Terminator 2. Amazing science fiction franchise. I've always loved androids and robots too. That's kind of where I've come from. That's my favorite kind of niche in science fiction. Androids and robots. Anime and stuff like that. Ghost in the Shell. I was really into that as a kid, and those kind of movies. So that's where my my love for science fiction kind of generated with robots. And then later, Star Wars and Star Trek growing up when I was like, 6 or 7 years old, coming up through, and then getting into more mature stuff like I said, Terminator, Alien, so much other stuff down the road, science fiction wise. Some of my favorite movies, Dune came out of that, the '84 version. The new one by Denis Villeneuve is unbelievable, amazing. Always love it. 2001: A Space Odyssey is one of my favorite films of all time, science fiction, and just films in general. Blade Runner 2049, another movie he directed. Just, the list goes on and on and on. The Fifth Element, I think, is an underrated movie with Bruce Willis. And Ian Holm is in that too. The guy who plays Ash. So, and Bilbo Baggins in the Lord of the Rings movies. Amazing actor, by the way. Rest in peace. He recently passed away, I believe, last year. 2021, 2020, something like that. But if you can get your hands on one of these figures at a decent price point, go for it. Now, they make smaller ones, too, that aren't like in this Q-Fig Max Elite line. They just have like these Q figures that are a little bit cheaper, in for $35, $30, $40. This was on sale. I think this thing actually retails for more than what I paid for it. I paid like $45. It was like $44.99. I think it retails for like $50 or $60. So I got a good deal on it. It was the last one. So I'm glad I picked it up. Check this line out if you're interested. Check out my other Collector's Crusade videos if you want to see what I'm into. I have a playlist now of all the Collector's Crusade videos I've done. I'll put the link in the description below so you can check it out for the playlist and the individual videos. So I hope everyone has a great Alien Day this time around, 2022. Always remember it. April 26th, again, after LV 426 from the original Alien movie and Aliens. If you're a fan of the Alien franchise, please support it. It's an amazing franchise, one of the greatest science fiction franchises of all time, and helmed and created and originally brought to the big screen by my favorite director of all time, Ridley Scott, who's doing some great work now. James Cameron in particular, expanding upon the story and creating the entire, Queen concept and all that stuff. And Aliens, James Cameron, great director. Terminator, like I said, and I forgot to mention this. Avatar, that movie, which is supposed to have some sequels coming out this year in 2022, Avatar 2. It's only been, 13 years, but hopefully that's a great film. I'm excited to see that. Avatar 3 and 4, I believe, are supposed to be coming out later too. So hopefully we get our hands on those and just enjoy what you're doing. Collect your figurines, your collectibles, read your comics. I'm still reading. I haven't got a chance to post any new comic videos yet, but I will when I get time. And listen to your vinyls, listen to your metal music. Do anything that makes you happy, and you get to express yourself through it. That's the most important thing. I hope everybody has a great day and a great Alien Day. And I'm just going to do a little rotation here of the Alien Queen as we fade out here.